as we look at everything that's been happening, we look at this most recent example with this murder with Floyd. I take it back to Kaepernick kneeling. I take it back even before that. And all these things leave me almost calloused. Like, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm not mad. I'm not sad. It is what it is. For myself, I feel like this is my reality in this skin. And people are outraged right now, and Black Lives Matter, yes, and we lash out against white people who say the right things, and we lash out against black people who don't say anything at all. And I feel like I'm falling into that trap a little bit right now, even making a statement about this. But here's how I look at it all. I can't change the world, but I can change my world. So I look at it from the perspective of what is my scope of influence? Who are the people in my circle? And what can I do to change their perspective, to influence their perspective, to inspire them, whatever the case is, however you want to put it. Because for me to put out some cute meme or to challenge everyone in social media, I don't feel that actually makes a difference. I don't feel that if I say something about Trump, it makes a difference. I don't feel if I say something against Trudeau, it makes a difference actually in their lives. That's going to affect the way that they lead. That's going to have a trickle effect to these people in the middle of nowhere or in the middle of our suburban or urban areas that do these atrocities against our people. I don't believe that my word has an effect on them. But I do believe that my word has an effect on my children. I do believe that my word has an effect on the people that I have some contact with, my digital friends, my real life friends. So when my friends of other colors say something about humanity or just a general wrong of what it is, I feel like I can go to them and say, well, no, actually, it's not just about a general wrong or like how everyone's saying about all lives matter. I would go to a person who says all life matter personally and say to them, one of these great analogies come out. What if my arm is bleeding? Do I put a band-aid on the other arm because all lives matter, or do I address the bleeding area? If there's two houses that are on fire, do I put water on one that has no fire in it because all houses matter? Of course not. I put water on the one that has fire going on in it. So there's certain things that matter at certain times when their needs are not being addressed. So that is a message that I have to those around me who do not understand that Black Lives Matter. I think in general, when it comes to racism, that racism is just a part and expression of the actual selfishness of people. And that is not necessarily that people are racist, it's that people are racist and selfish. Because the racism doesn't come out until their selfishness is appealed to, whether it's because they can indulge themselves or because they've been inconvenienced by someone that they don't like morally. That's when it has expression. So this racism and this selfishness that we see in this world has always been there, and I don't believe that this is a worse time than any other time in our lifetime, because was it Will Smith that said it's not getting worse, it's getting filmed. There's just more sensationalism around it. And because there's so much sensationalism around it, we're aroused to be angrier about it. But I've always been this angry about this. I've always been the same feeling of not really being shocked by the fact that something new is happening. Because it's always been happening. And my condolences go to everyone who is affected by it personally every time something new happens. But it's probably not the last time it's going to happen either. So all these things lead me to a place where I'm just like, I don't know what to say, because I don't think anything new is going to change, or anything I say new is going to change the way that things are being affected at this moment in time. But I can't affect those in my circle. I can't affect my world. And by affecting my world, yes, it'll affect the whole world. Okay, I'll give you that. But I think also with this, I love how a lot of black men are rising up and saying that they are angry black men, that they are people of color that have been holding their voice, muting their voice, trying to play nice, trying to express themselves in a way that is palatable for everyone else. And I feel that this time is a time when not just my skin tone needs a voice, but my spirituality needs a voice as well. Because I know that I'm a spirit with a soul in a body. And we're spending a whole lot of time on this body. And we forget that, from my perspective, from my belief system, that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am made with a purpose. That this spirit intentionally was clothed in dark skin. So my first allegiance is to this spirit man. My second allegiance is to the skin tone. I identify myself as a man, a black man, a man of God, a husband, a father, an employee, an entrepreneur, all these different things. I have so many levels, so many hats, so many capes that I wear. But first, I'm a man of God. So as a result of that, yes, there's a lot of things that are happening to the people of my skin tone. And there's a lot more that's going to happen to the people of my skin tone. And I consider it a privilege to be in this hue. I don't make any apologies for it. I don't feel sorry for myself. And even in the same way that I have loving people who reach out to me and say, watch out, the black man is in danger, the discrimination, the hatred, the racism, the bigotry, all these different things, almost warning me like this is something that's new. I understand that I am the hunted. I understand that I am not going to get certain privileges. I understand in certain workplaces that I'm going to be passed over for jobs. And I will be liked because I'm that cool black guy. I'm that exception. I'm not that angry black man. I'm not whatever it is that people want to label me as. I make the cut. However, that's not the point. Within me, when I look from the inside out, I know that I'm a man of God. I'm a man of integrity, character, of perseverance, and of encouragement and inspiration, whatever it is. Those things emanate from me first. And then you're left with the conflict of, why is this a nice guy and a black man? Why are they killing the other black people and this guy's still around? You have that internal conflict because I'm trying to live my life true to its character from the inside out. And I have this conversation with people around this Black Lives Matter and the life of a black man and the experience that we have. And the closest analogy that I can come to that experience would be that of being a woman. Because there are some similarities in our experience, but there are some differences as well. And I want to explain what I mean by that. The similarity is, as a woman, she has to walk down the street at night being vigilant of the fact that she could get raped, abused. She would be perceived as a weaker human being, weaker of the sexes, and can be vulnerable. So she has to be cognizant of her surroundings in a way that me as a male, I don't have to. I can walk hands clenched, fists clenched through the toughest part of town and nothing will happen. Or I could walk through the same part of town oblivious to the things that are happening around me and nothing will happen. My wife cannot do that same thing. She has to be aware of the fact that her surroundings and her appearance are going to elicit different reactions to people in society. Therefore, she has to be more wary of the society as she walks through it. That's where the similarity ends, though, because at the same time, if something was to happen to that woman, the perpetrator would be assumed guilty until proven innocent, even if nothing happened. she says that she was raped, I would lose my job. If I'm a teacher and a child says that they were touched, that person loses their job until they discover that that was untrue. Suspended, whatever the case is. There are certain classes of people that are so protected by the law. Yes, they are vulnerable and are there's a possibility that something could happen to them, so they have to live in a way that is mindful of that, but they're still protected. I am not protected in certain situations where I have to be vigilant. So yes, I can sympathize with women when they say it's having to walk through a dark street at night and having to be conscious of that. I don't have to be. But they're also the most protected people on the planet. Anyone who perpetrates against them is guilty until proven innocent. Anyone who perpetrates against me is innocent until proven guilty. So with that in mind, Black lives do matter. With that in mind, in this time, recognize, men, that you're more than your skin tone. Everything from the inside out has to radiate of your greatness and your power. And in spite of that, you'll still be judged. And in spite of that, you'll still be discriminated against. And in spite of that, you may be killed. But know that you are men of valor. Know that your name is not sullied regardless of what people say about you, due to you and your family. Stand strong, be warriors, be strong.